Have you seen these emasculated beta male simp manginas that are in the pulpit nowadays?
God damn it! You can't
I mean,
make this
if you
shit
just
up.
go right now and look at Jamal Bryant's latest Instagram post, he's wearing tight leopard pants and his mama's shawl. Like, that's not a soldier. That's not somebody you would follow anywhere, unless you're going to Sassy Man Fashion Week.
How do symbolic wins distract us from real ownership?
I mean, how many times are we going to continue to go, this person is the first black this, and, for the first time in history that? And, like, how are we doing as a people? How are we doing as a community? What are the actual steps to get us to move in a direction that is positive? Not these little one-off magical brass rings that people want to celebrate. If you got a black person on the Supreme Court, cool. What laws are they upholding? What laws are they changing? How are they moving for black people? If they're not, then what are we celebrating it for? Like, symbolism is the drug that we're taking in order to feel good about the mediocrity in our situation when everything on us is supposed to be greatness.
We're supposed to have elective ideologies based off of the archetypes of characteristics, which turned out to be false for a lot of us. So symbolism has turned into what do you call it, a nothing burger, just
Yes,
because share similar looks or similar origin stories that don't have the own code collective strategy that we would have. So that's one of the things we ran into. So to the point that we've been making all night, we've got to pick our own people and make sure that the ideology of the people we pick is what will represent us, and make sure that they put our interests at the forefront at all times. So just being the first XYZ will never matter again. I think Obama might be the last of that people who could skirt in on just being like appearing black enough or what that. I think that's done. Now it's getting checked every which way. Ideology, tangibles.
Where your people from? And white. Where your people
yes,
from?
everything moving forward. So hopefully this provides us some sort of vetting that we can get the actual desired results we want to move forward with the programs or the things that we think will benefit us best, because it's do or die. We're not playing these games no more.
What's stopping us from pooling resources like other groups?
Because other groups don't have everybody else interfering, and other groups don't have people coming to the cookout. That's it. Other people don't have other groups, controlling their management, controlling their access, controlling their teams, their companies, all of that stuff. We still believe that the palm colored people's ice is colder, and as a result of that, we continue to get into partnerships with people. When you have a all black situation, sooner or later somebody's going to come along and say the right thing, and then that's going to be what it is, and that is the problem. We got to get everybody out of our situation. We don't get invited to their meetings, but they show enough always in ours. How you going to build if they already know your strategy? You do not see when the Eagles go play away games, the other team is not coming into their locker room, into their huddle, and getting a playbook. That's not how this works. We haven't learned that yet.
We got to normalize gatekeeping, because amongst ourselves, we be gatekeeping like a mother. Like, there's so many times where I was trying to get on with something, and people like, nah, wait. But when it comes to the outsiders, it's like, oh yeah, they cool though. Nah, normalize gatekeeping. It's as simple as that. Because people are vultures. They understand what's going on. They understand the skill set. They understand the talent. They understand what who actually creates the trends, and they're gonna mooch off of it and try to do a hostile takeover every single time. That's just what it is. So at some point, we gotta say the hell with y'all. Y'all ain't touching it. Leave us alone.
Dave, you once said the black church used to make soldiers. Now it makes SIMPS. Why?
Have you seen these emasculated beta male simp manginas that are in the pulpit nowadays?
Ooh.
I mean, if you just go right now and look at Jamal Bryant's latest Instagram post, he's wearing tight leopard pants and his mama's shawl. Like, that's not a soldier. That's not somebody you would follow anywhere, unless you're going to Sassy Man Fashion Week. Like the Bible says, you will know the tree from the fruit that it bears. Other than the $33 to $38 million every week the black church gets in tithes and offerings, like stop. The church right now, especially in the black community, is marketed towards women, primarily single women who are, who have had a point in their life where they've either hit the wall or they're about to hit the wall. And they want to listen to the good word of the pastor who rarely encourages them to read the Bible for themselves, but, has a series on what you need to do to get the good man with the benefits. So yeah, I mean, but the church got infiltrated around '05 when they came up with those FBI initiatives, and I mean, the faith-based initiatives. So yeah, forget America. Let's write all over the Constitution, and forget about the separation of church and state. But if you buy off the church, then you don't have to worry about the rise of a black Messiah. Ain't that what J. Edgar Hoover said? Oh, okay, cool.
Ladies, I got a question for you. Do y'all think the church help or hurt men?
I think the church hurt men. I think the Bible can help men. I think the church itself is not beneficial. I think it's more seductive and one-sided, depending on which church you go to, who's the pastor, his level of influence, etc. It's more like to me, correct me if I'm wrong, but again, it's just my opinion, so I could definitely be wrong. When I look out to a lot of churches, particularly black churches, it just seemed like a fashion show. It just seemed like everybody coming either to look for some superficial answers that they're not going to get, to put themselves on display, to be seen. Some people actually go for the word. I'm not speaking about them. I know we're looking for substance, but I don't think we're going to get it from the church itself. I think it's the Bible, and if it's not the actual Bible, it's just we need some spiritual direction. And I think once our men understand that, they can be better leaders for us, women and children. But I don't think they're necessarily going to get that from a church. Just me.
My personal opinion, I feel the church hurt men. I think naturally, I know what he made when he made woman, and women dress very provocatively going into that building. It's an open meat market, and they're not forcing women to cover up and be respectful to themselves and to the space that they're in. Um, they're not teaching things that should be taught. So I think just religion itself, it's again not all, but majority it's hurtful to men and women. So yeah.
I have to agree with the two ladies. I believe that the church, especially the black church, they don't help us in any way. I think that they take a lot of our money and they don't put anything back into the communities, and that's historically. I think that they teach hope and they have fear tactics, and it's kind of like historically passed down, almost like the Democrats. Like they the same pond. They just one and the same to me. None of it makes sense. Like black people have enough knowledge to know that they shouldn't be worshiping Jesus, and he isn't even white, and that isn't even a picture of the Son of God. And we have enough knowledge just out there in the universe to know that those ideologies and the things that are put out there are not true. They're not of a fact, right? But not to say that it's wrong. Like people have the right to practice religion. But I think that when you're going to invest that much time and money into something, it needs to be putting something back into you, right? So instead of preaching all of that, the pastor should be preaching organization. They should be preaching generational wealth and maintaining your lineage. I don't give a damn who's sleeping with who. The choir director always gay. I don't know why there's a thing in a black church. So if you let the choir director be gay, then you need to let the pastor preacher turn these boys into soldiers, right? Teach them how to actually protect their family, how to get armed, how to provide. They don't do any of that. They sit on a pulpit and just recite these scriptures over and over and just make people feel good. That's weird to me. Like I can go home and read this myself and get my own interpretation and have my own spirituality. If you're going to be a leader in the black community, as far as a church, then you have to actually lead. And I feel like that's why the churches aren't really doing good. Like they pretty much empty because people are like, I'm not finna go to church just to be cute. Because the Christians put themselves on a pedestal. They up here, we down here for some reason. Like she said, they like to put on them big hats and go to church because it make them feel like for some reason that they're above us. And it's like, but y'all finna go home and be poor after giving this man $1,200 for tithes. I wish I would ever do such a thing in my life. You should be teaching her how to open up a savings account or giving that to the kids or investing that in some type of college foundation. I remember when I was a kid and I had got a scholarship to go to college to Baylor and Waco. And my mama had been given to this church, y'all, for years. I grew up in this church. But before I went, like the first semester, they needed some type of fees that wasn't even that much because my scholarship hadn't kicked in. Do you know that the church would not give my mama this money? Like she went to them like, I need she's gonna get her scholarship. I'm gonna pay you guys back. They will not give it to her. I'm talking about the lady been going to the church and tithing at this church. Probably gonna get these people $20,000-$30,000 easily. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, why are we giving all this money and it's not going towards our kids? Y'all should be having too many college foundations set up for these children. I ain't never had no respect for them. They selling hope. You know what I'm saying? And that's pimping. They pimping the Black community to me. That's it. That's all.